Hey all, and welcome back to another video on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm a few more hours into this game now, and I'm still thoroughly enjoying it, as I think many people are. But the main focus of this video that I sort of want to talk about are the shrines, and sort of the different things that I've encountered with them, and sort of where they lay in the world and how they break up the gameplay in some interesting ways and reward you for that. I suppose I'll talk about the shrines that I've encountered within the game. Initially, sort of in the beginning area, you have 4 shrines that you have to complete. It's obligatory, you have to do it to progress and get the paragliders to get down. I should probably point out at this stage that there will be spoilers in this, but you have a shrine to get each of the ruins, which are like the special abilities you have within the game, and each one of them sort of focused around using that ability to learn that ability. And that's actually an interesting way that these shrines fit into the game. They are a level of tutorialization for some of the other mechanics that are there, so like the combat, these special abilities. So you have one for your bomb, which includes bombing certain areas to get through it, and also flinging your bombs across certain places. You have ice, which includes getting across waterfalls, and which later on in other shrines you'll use to direct giant balls into certain sections. You'll have stasis, which is like a stopping time ability. One that I've heard that it's a really broken ability, but one that I've not really come across or used myself too much. Other than that, I think they're the main ones off the top of my head. Magnetic, using your magnetic power to move iron doors around, which I always forget I've got for some reason. But basically, the shrines, the way they work is they give you, especially these first 4, and the way that these are so well designed, is they give you a simple ability for you to use to progress through it, and you have to use that in a multitude of ways to get through the shrine. So, for instance, the ice one's not just going up across a area and using it to get to a higher place. You can also use it to raise a platform by placing 2 ice pillars underneath. Not only the shrines are tutorialising, and then there's a combat shrine. I've come across 2 of these so far. There's one in Kokiri Village, which I thought, I'm 5 hours into the game, and it's actually taught me some of the basics of combat that I didn't know up to this stage. Sort of parrying and rolling around an enemy and backflipping, and you can use these abilities to actually get in and do a lot more damage. So, even though it is tutorialising, it sort of allows you to come onto them and as you need them. I've not needed these abilities up to this point. I've been able to deal with things, but perhaps some of the harder enemies I might have struggled with without having these abilities. So it's been good to learn them, definitely. But one of the things that I'm hearing a lot of people say about these shrines is, and I suppose I should talk about how they are in the world, and basically from a high vantage point or a different place, you'll see this red glowing hut or like building, and these are the shrines. You get down, you go inside, and it's sort of actually, instead of dungeons, which as far as I'm aware this game does have dungeons, but I've not come across them yet, but the shrines sort of take place of these and have a place for you to delve in and have a sort of small section to do a puzzle. So as you're exploring through the world, it actually breaks it up very nicely, because the world is very large and you are going from A to B, and it is something to break it up, something to pass the time. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that these shrines are like the portal puzzle rooms, and I actually tend to agree with that. So imagine having a portal game, and in that game it's quick fire, puzzle, bit of narrative, puzzle. Whereas with something like this, what it is it's exploring. It's going from A to B, and this is what is used to break it up. So it's actually essential to the overworld and making you feel like you're getting places. I'll also talk about, in this game, there's no heart containers at all, and the way you get more heart containers is you get these, I think it's called spirit orbs, from the shrines, which you can then offer up to the gods, and they bless you either with greater stamina or greater heart containers. So not only are you going through the world finding these puzzles, there's actually like a real reason to do it, and a reason to try and get the benefits for yourself, so you can take on harder combat encounters, and the tutorialization, as I said, because I chose to go a different direction than the main quest, because whenever a game tells me to go and do a main quest, I'm like, well, fuck you, I'm going to go and do what I want. it's more to push the game's boundaries and see what it sort of allows. So I went off in different directions, and that just led me to not learn this stuff until quite late on in the game. And for the game to sort of trust you to not need this information right away, and to know that, hey, we can put this a bit further down the line, and you know, you can still learn something from that. I'm still picking up things in this game now and learning things. But yeah, I suppose the other thing that I'd like to say is, funnily enough, my granddad, of all people, used to play a lot of Zelda back in the day, sort of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I think part of the thing he really liked about it was the puzzles, because it sort of keeps your brain sharpened, it keeps you thinking. I think it's very easy to go through life just sort of shutting down and blocking out thought altogether, and not really, you know, engaging with that part of your brain. And this is something that these shrines allow you. I'm not saying they're the most complex things in the world, but they do give you that little satisfying reward of figuring something out. You might be there 5 minutes or so and be like, can't quite get this. You play around with the different things, you know, try and push it, and you learn something from it. Right, I'm going to put in a massive spoiler, but a spoiler for one of the puzzles here. There's a platform that you have to use motion controls for, and the reason I want to talk about this is because I think it's really interesting. But you have to use motion controls to move this ball around a maze, and the maze has got several sections on the outside that are open, and the ball can fall out, thus losing it. And to be honest, I didn't figure this out myself. It was on a podcast that I was listening to, but it still left me with that ingenious, like, oh shit, you can do it like that, can you? And what you do is you flip the motion controller upside down, and that flips the entire platform upside down, and the ball just falls on it. You no longer have to go through the maze, you can just roll it to the end. And for the developers to allow that sort of player interaction and allow the player to really fuck with the world and go against kind of what they want, it makes the game full of surprises and things that you would never expect. It no longer does it feel prescribed, no longer do you feel like you set down like this narrow path that you have to follow. And it's like when you play a Zelda game, you've played it already. If you've got any history with the series, each game you've kind of already played it up until now, and the way they do that is making you allowed to fuck with the world and figure things out on your own. So yeah, that's my part in the shrine. I'm going to keep coming up with ideas for videos like this. And so this one's going to be a bit more edited down. I've done it without actually playing the game in front of me, which is a bit unusual for this channel at the moment, but I want to do some more of these videos. It's just the time editing. So yeah, I will be coming up with a few more topics in the future, I think. Fucking buy this game, people. It's alright. Even if you have to get it for the Wii U, which is what I did. Alright, peace out.